what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews, we are all supporters of our team. We chant the Super Blues, ringing all around, now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads.
Welcome to Monday night's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports, the principal sponsor of Birmingham City, in conjunction with Cafe to You, Solihull Munchies, and that one's in Alton, SAS Autos and Boards at Oberville. 6 games in, 10 points on the board and 9th in the league. A scrappy poor first half had me thinking by the time I get home I'll be 3 points out of pocket. However, once again up pops the Duke, and 3 minutes later, Trevor Francis's long-standing record as Blues' youngest scorer was broken as a 16-year-old and makes history on his home debut. Stand up, Jude Bellingham. That sent me into delirium, and as I was right by the Stoke away support, I could see the pain in their faces. 6 minutes extra time, and the nerves were on edge, and then that beautiful sound of the final whistle, and the knowledge there was another 3 points in the bag. Joy. I can now travel back up to the land of pottery and chips and gladly claim my 3 points. Not bad for a non-gambling man. Oh well, international break now, so as always, strap yourselves in and get ready for the ride on the world's one and only Tilton Talk Show.
We are the lads from the Tilton, we'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy, following the Blues, we love you, what more can we say? We have a team that's tops, here at St Andrews, they're gonna give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever, let's hear it from the stand. So come on City, sing this song once more.
Welcome to Monday night's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports, as I say, Cafe to You, Solihull, SAS Autos, Boards at Oberville Club, and of course Munchies Cafe in Alton. And thanks to each and those for their continuing support. Great to have one of the best voices in football ever in the world with us tonight, Chris Pure.
Alright, still come on. There's respect. That's a bit too much.
You know it was coming, didn't you? And we actually raised a smile out of him within the first 2 minutes of the show, which is great news. No, I really meant, of course, the legend that is, and our good friend Tom Ross. Tom, welcome again, mate. Welcome.
I'm already under orders after the last time.
What
not to talk too much.
No, that won't happen. That's not going to happen.
I got slaughtered
We've all got bets on this. This is the only time I'll come out and do a gamble. Paul Ipkiss, welcome again.
Good evening.
Mrs. DeFun.
Good evening.
Adam Wilkes in the background with his headphones on. And you. And, of course, Mrs. Brown. Well, okay, we'll start off. Here's my story from the weekend. Yep, I was supposed to be going from my hometown in Uttoxeter up by Stoke to Derby to pick my son up. He's got his hairdressing barber shop. I don't call it hairdressing, he'll kill me by the time I get home. A barber shop in Derby. And so I get a phone call off him around about 20 past 11. Dad, don't bother picking me up, I'll make my own way in. Ding dong do. You go and I'll come back with you. I said, that's great, because I love to get there early. So around about 11:45 I set off, and gets to my usual haunt of Bar 8, where in the middle Mr. Hobro resides, and I think he owns, he's probably got shares in it now, but no Peaky Blinders ale in Bar 8.
They're giving it all away outside.
Were they?
That was the lager, weren't they?
Yeah,
The lager was no, not for me. I'm not a lager drinker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm proper looking forward to a bottle of Peaky Blinders ale. 2 hours before the game, ain't got none.
It was nice, by the way.
Thanks, mate. However, the big surprise
Is that my fault? Sorry.
Not your fault.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Just because I happen to be looking at you.
Yeah, I thought
automatically.
somehow
No. It doesn't make it your fault.
be excused. Yeah.
However, 10 minutes before the game started, I did walk round to where we were meeting up to go in, and my other son from Poole in Dorset had made the journey up, and we had the game together. So it was nice, you know. Pity the other lad couldn't come as well, because I like it when all three of them are there. It's a good laugh. First off, I ain't got much to say about it, apart from, oh my God, what happened?
Should have been a penalty, shouldn't it?
Absolutely, without a doubt, that should have been a penalty. He
I think
wrestled
so.
him to the ground, and I think the stamp on the face was accidental. I don't think there was any intent. in
Before that, there was a penalty. It's a penalty before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's
certain.
not even debatable.
We commentated on it.
Yeah, I was doing it for Talk Sport, and it was not even an issue. It was a penalty.
Yeah.
Absolute gilt edged.
Yes, absolutely.
He's got the wrong
100%.
side of him, and
He just wrestled him.
I think it's a natural reaction, probably for centre halves when they get the wrong side. The striker's got the wrong side of him to try and get back the right side, but you obviously can't do it by grabbing them around the neck and shoving them to the ground. So
No.
certain pen.
But the rest of the first half, Tom, what was your take on it?
Well, we started a shambles. We were a shambles at the start.
I mean, all I was worried about was my 3 points when I got home.
But I have to say, I don't know at this moment what people are expecting.
No.
Because I see an awful. I do a lot of social media work, and people talking about promotion must be for me, in my view, crackers.
Unless, of
This
course,
team-
that miracle happens. Yeah.
This team is not, as it stands, watching them,
It's cementing
is not
itself
good
together.
enough to get promotion this season.
And it's going to take a fair chunk of time for these guys to come in from literally from European countries and had to bed in and hit the ground running one thing or another. They've had no time to sort of like.
And there's a culture shock.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, about the way we play the game. This game is played at a tempo they've never heard of or even felt before, even in training. They've never had that tempo. Plus the physicality of it all, which cost us the game away at Swansea. The Alba, talented lad, ragdolled, pushed off the ball like you weren't even there. That's what I'm saying about this takes time. These are people that could be really, really, really good players
Absolutely,
and
I can see it.
influencers.
Yeah.
But we've just thrown them all in, and And I was reading this morning that the manager's Pep Clotet has been told that it's playoffs or minimum.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Well, that's what I was reading. Almagier, put that out this morning.
I didn't read that piece.
I haven't got
on
that.
purpose.
I haven't got that confirmed. But I'm going to ask the question when I see Pep later this week. I shall ask him the question. I don't know whether Pep Clotet will be a good manager for Blues, a bad manager, a great manager. What I do know, he needs the tools to work with. That team, as it stands for me, is not good enough to get promotion this season.
No.
This season, we've no pace in the team. Really, no pace in the team, and up front, it's so glaringly obvious there's no pace. Last year we were outplayed in most games, and yet Che Adams very often got us out of jail with his pace and his ability to.
But I
We had a
think
finisher.
We were also bottom this time last year, though, weren't we?
No, listen, you
Pretty
take
bad
you take the points, but I
know, and I see what you're saying.
I think over 46 games, I don't
We've
think.
had luck, haven't we, to pick up these 10 points at times? But
I'm delighted. Don't get me wrong.
You take it. You
You
take
take
it
because all you set out to do is
I'd
win.
rather win ugly than not at all.
So I don't. No, I'm telling you, anybody that would rather be entertained is crackers.
Yeah.
They're crackers. That's all that matters.
This man's hand. I want to shake this man's hand.
It's about winning.
Of course it is. It's
The
about
game,
final
if you've
whistle.
ever played at any level, your manager's last words are, go and win the game.
Yeah. Doesn't
Not
matter
go and
how-
entertain.
No.
Listen, I'd love Blues to be playing like Man City.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, let's give them £500 million and they might be able to do it. They can't do it with players that we bought. You will not do that with players that we bought.
No.
However, the gelling process is
He's
still
waiting to
going on.
go. Let him go.
But the gelling process is still going on.
But that is going on. As I say, they
ongoing.
could turn out to be
Work in
really,
progress.
really good players.
Work in
I say
progress.
potential.
Sunjic looks a real prospect.
excellent fight.
Real prospect.
Yeah.
Villalba has got a touch about him.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. But people, where was all this? What a great summer we've had in the transfer window. Where did that come from?
I don't think we've done too bad, Tom, considering.
What? Tell me on then.
Well,
you've
I
just
think
said already. No, you've just said already.
Yeah, but with the
they ain't ready.
No, but I'm on about the calibre of the players and that work in progress.
But you buy for potential and you play them and you're under 23s and you develop them. We've thrown them in and said, go and get us promotion.
Yeah.
So we let 30 odd goals out, not replace them. That for me is a worry.
Yeah.
That is a worry. Listen, I can't criticise the quality of the individual he's brought in.
No.
In terms of technical ability. Are they ready to play in the physical championship yet? I ain't so sure.
Okay. Well, time will tell. The floor is now yours.
I think last season
You said I think twice.
Norwich showed that it can happen. It can be done. That you have a complete overhaul, you start afresh, and you surprise a few teams, and you run on that wave of momentum. I think Norwich brought a few players in who also were new to the league.
Being the operative word, by the way.
Yeah.
Bought.
Not extravagant.
Yeah.
Extravagant
But
amount of money. Pookie was a free. Got 20 odd goals. There's no pace in Pookie. No, I agree with pretty much everything Tom said. It was, and in the first half, it looked to me like it was two sides who were desperately trying to find some sort of identity, desperately trying to find some sort of confidence. Two sides who were struggling to keep the ball and were worried about what would happen if they give it away. And it just looked like two very tentative sides. I think Stoke, when you look down, I looked at half two at the Stoke lineup and I thought, gosh, forgot they had him. He's a player. And I was a little bit worried looking
But
at their side.
over 3 years, the last 3 seasons, they spent 60 million quid.
Yeah, since they've come down.
Since they've come down, 60 million quid.
In trying to get back to where they need to be. But actually, so I've looked at their side and gone, okay, temper your expectations a little bit because they've got very good players. And as I said, in that first half, they had more of the ball. They used it a little bit better than we did, but there was no cutting edge. There was no thrust, and that's
They
a
didn't
lack.
hurt Blues, did they?
Not once,
No.
and that's a lack of confidence.
Apart from the one Lee Camp save.
Yeah, which was a good save.
Very good save, yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
one-on-one
Oh, in the first half,
Well,
Gregory down the
yeah.
side. That's Blues switching off. That's not Stoke cutting through us. That was Blues switching off a little bit, and it's a decent save at in their post. Second half, and I think the biggest credit I can give Blues from Saturday is the character.
The substitution. Dan Crowley livened Blues up.
Yeah,
No
absolutely. I don't think we would have won the game had Crowley not come on.
And that role, by the way, he sort of sat behind the front men, which I think suits him.
Yeah,
He's
that's
not a
right.
wide player.
No.
Sitting behind the front men.
No.
He's a busy and free.
Yeah.
It's so I'd like
Let
to
him be
bring
free
up
and
to
let him
that.
get on the ball because he's a tricky
Yeah.
little player.
Yeah, definitely.
He livened us up.
He
Whether
did,
he'll do
yeah.
it next week, I don't know, but he livened us up.
Yeah.
So I thought we reacted well after conceding. Well, after what they scored.
Yeah.
We went further up the pitch and started getting on top of them.
Well, we forced a free kick straight away, which Jimenez headed over.
Yeah.
But like you say, then I think the introduction of Crowley and
Yes.
the movement, the quick touches, and it just Stoke sat there for 65 minutes and didn't have a thing to be concerned about. And as soon as Crowley came on, I think there was a couple of times, like Tom said, he was out wide left. He come out wide left. It was wasted on him completely. But even out wide left, all it needed was a couple of quick touches into, a couple of 1-2s between him and Pedersen, and he was getting into little gaps, and I think that scared Stoke. And the first goal, he plays a lovely little 1-2 with Davis. He cuts it back, and because the Stoke midfielders are worried about what Crowley's going to do, Davis is in acres, and Crowley's got the vision to find Davis out wide. It was the first bit of width we'd found all game, and that was because Stoke were shifting across to Crowley's side because they were worried about what he was going to do. And so we switch it across, move the ball a little bit quicker, which we didn't do at all in the first half. It was pedestrian, it was tepid, it was slow. It was, as I said, it was the sign of a side that are really struggling for confidence. The first bit of width we had all game, Colin out on the right-hand side, he puts a cross in and it's 1-1. And from that moment, like you say, it lifted the crowd. I think it lifted the players. It lifted Davis, who
But what a header! What a header! That
well,
was.
I went to sleep on Saturday thinking, I hope Duke doesn't get injured.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, but as soon as that's dinked to the back post,
I think just
there's no other result.
He's the best at that.
I commented. I said that over the 30 years I've been going regular, he's not the best striker I've ever seen down there.
No.
I'm not saying that, but at converting headed chances, he's the best I've ever seen. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't the best.
Do you agree with that?
No, not for me.
Well,
Nick
yeah,
Harford,
Yeah.
Barbalach.
old school.
Obviously before my time, but yeah.
All right.
I've heard of that.
Not obviously looking at it.
but in terms, he's excellent at that, and he's a real honest to goodness grafter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he works his absolute what's it.
I love him. I love him.
And I think he seems to be thriving on, You know, obviously
He's enjoying it.
He had a really good relationship with Che last year, and they helped each other bundles.
Exactly.
Actually, now he's the sort of main man, you know, and he's having to help Jimenez gel into the side and get used to the physicality, and you know, linking up with Jimenez. Actually, I think he's thriving on it. I think he's enjoying it a little bit, actually being the focal point. And like I say, as soon as that cross
he
came
wants
to the back
service
post,
though.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the games I watched
Yeah.
on TV, I mean, there's just no service.
all
he
three of his
thrives
goals
on
are exactly
crosses.
the same. Yeah.
He's isolated, isn't he?
Yeah,
Most of
he
the time.
thrives on
But when he
crosses.
took that chance, Tom, to me, I mean, I was at the opposite end of the pitch. It was like he'd taken one of these little trampolines on, placed it on the floor, bounced on it 3 times.
I think he might have leaned on the Stoke defender, to be fair.
Clever forward play,
He-
isn't
What
it?
a
Yeah.
jump there. That was just
but it's
incredible.
where he put it as well. The
Absolutely.
keeper couldn't get near it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
fabulous. And he's such a good lad as well.
Yeah.
Everywhere, you know what I mean? You couldn't. It's hard to. If your daughter came home with him, you'd be happy. He's such a lovely, lovely bloke.
I wouldn't be now.
No, but he's a nice bloke. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he is. He is.
You know,
he is
he's a
fantastic.
really nice bloke.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think. I worry. Maybe it's just been a Blues fan. I don't know. You
Well, my
worry.
daughter lives with a Stoke fan.
Hey, what are you saying, Tom? If he got injured, we'd be doomed, wouldn't we?
I just worry about the whole the way we are.
Yeah.
We miss Morrison. I don't care what anybody says. For
Yeah.
me, we miss Morrison. I think you do.
Can't agree with that.
I tell you what, we'll miss most of all. 7 goals he got us last year. But also,
Let's see
he's
how
a
many
leader.
Dean and Roberts get at the end of the season.
Step
Yeah.
up to those 7
Let's
goals.
see-
The
let's see how
season's
many
gotta
Dean
pan
and
out,
Roberts
yeah.
get,
Yeah, yeah. Ollie
And they
Dean,
look like scoring yet.
No. But again,
No, I haven't even
certainly
looked like it.
No, set pieces have been a little bit disappointing. I think when Bialba was taken off on Saturday, I think his set pieces might have, you know, obviously I felt for him in a way. You know, he's a young lad coming from
He's
Spain.
a young kid, but
He's
he
a young
never
lad
really
coming
had
from-
an impact on the game for me.
You stick him out wide against Stoke of all teams, who know exactly what to do to nullify that sort of player. And you know, he really struggled to get into the game.
There'll be more of them sort of teams than the other sort. There'll be more teams physical with us than playing football with us.
Absolutely right, in this division.
Okay, Jefferson Montero went off with an injury. Any news?
No, I spoke to Pep afterwards, and he said he was going for an assessment
It
on
looked like
Sunday.
his knee went kind of backwards a little bit.
Well, that's where he's had his trouble before.
And I spoke to a good friend of mine who's a Swansea fan, lives down in Swansea. When we picked him up, he said, yeah, on his day, you know what, he can't offshine, but just watch him.
He went to West Brom and he was injured at West Brom when he played.
Yeah.
You know, when he ran, you could see he was dragging a leg, and it was difficult for the kid.
Because he had some right proper pace, not this game, but the one previous to that.
The game before, when he came on as sub, he was
flying.
lively.
Yeah.
But he's not quick. He's quick over a short distance. But we need people who like Che. Che could get the ball on the halfway line, and you know the defenders were struggling. They're never going to keep up with him. We need genuine pace in the team, but mostly up front for me. And they haven't addressed that situation.
No.
Easier said than done. I'm not blaming them.
No, I know.
Enough easier said than done. Go and find a striker
With the
the resources
he'll score you 15
and
goals.
the resources we have.
Exactly. Yeah.
And now we're trying to find one for free.
Yes.
So where do you get a 20 goal a year man for free?
What do you think of this Jimenez so far, Tom?
I haven't seen enough of him.
I think he's got a good touch, hasn't he?
I
got
think
an- I
against
think
Swansea he
he's
might have
got
had
an-
3 touches. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard to see until you get hold of the ball and dominate a game, and then he can be part of it.
Nice goal against Barnsley, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wait,
Well, to be fair, I'm not being funny.
that was bad.
Again, I'm being. There was no Barnsley player within 30 yards of him.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
they're a professional should put that away. To be fair.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you remember last year, Che was putting them away when he was marked,
Oh yeah.
and that is the
Oh, you can't compare them, can you?
So
But,
they're the worst side I've seen in the Championship yet.
Yeah.
Barnsley,
Yeah.
shocking.
yeah, they were bad.
I don't care. 3 points, we'll have it. Thanks very much indeed.
That's
It's the yardstick,
at
isn't
the
it?
end
3
of the day,
points.
That's it.
We've had 10 points. We haven't. You know, it's a great start to the season.
We haven't started, and we've got 10 points.
It's a great start to the season.
You know, and that is
That's more than what we had deducted last year. actually.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's everything. It's everything you hear people say about decent side. You know, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that our realistic aim should be playoffs or promotion or whatever. But it's everything you hear about a decent side pick up points when you're not playing well.
Yep.
And then
That's a good point,
when you do start playing well and people do start connecting and you do start finding your best team, because I don't think he knows his best team.
No.
I think he's got an idea of what he wants, but I don't think he knows his best team and the best players in the right position. And we've picked up 10 points from 6 games. Now, when we finally do get that,
You might have too many players the same.
well, that
might be an issue.
Again, that's something I want to get to tonight. You know, what is the best way forward for Blues? What is the best system? What is the best position
Well, we
for
brought in another
very
one today.
similar players?
We brought in another one today, Estudiante de Murcia,
Yeah.
which I think is a Spanish third division.
Yeah,
You know,
realistically, he's not going to play 30 league games this season, is he? Son?
No, and of course the style of play that we've been asked to play, shall we say, is a very difficult style of play to
That's
play
what-
in.
what- demanded that we
What
play.
style? What style?
Well,
what
it's
style
more
is that?
expansive,
passing,
more
possession
passive,
based,
Yeah.
possession
away
based.
from the defensive base.
Again,
It's very difficult to play that in the Championship anyway because it's blood, it's thunder, and it's go 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 all the time.
I completely disagree.
Really?
Because teams do it.
That's a surprise.
No,
You
not
disagree
I've
with
not
me.
seen- I saw,
Norwich
you
did
keep
it last
you keep on
season.
about Norwich. I saw Norwich probably more than you last season.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair. Yeah, I
Right.
saw them when they
And
played
let me
us,
tell you, when needed, they were as direct as anybody.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Right.
fair. And we've been direct when we need to
But
be.
they had better players, and you said they didn't spend a lot. I'd like to have a look, and remember, sometimes it ain't paying the fee, they're paying
It's
the
the
wages,
wages, yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
Wages are the
Yeah.
key. You can get good players. We can get even now. We could get a good free agent. There's a difference, you see. For me, anyway, there's one that's been released by his club who don't want him, or there's one who's let his contract run out
Yeah.
and wants to earn some serious dough.
Yeah, yeah.
Now those are the ones that you don't pay a transfer fee, but you've got to bung him £1 million plus because he'll get the transfer fee or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and then pay massive wages. This is what gets you good players. No secret, ain't rocket science. The better your players, the better the results you get.
Yeah, yeah.
No secret.
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah,
so,
that's
yeah,
true.
of course not. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
But
It's-
I don't think it's outlandish to say that we can't ask
I think you're
Blues
right.
to play.
You're right.
To keep the ball more,
But then
and
buy,
to play-
buy the players that can play that way now.
Yeah.
Buy the players that can play that way now.
Yeah.
Go out and spend 40 million, right?
Yeah.
We'll be in FFP problems again, but you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Spend 40 million, 50 million, getting good players, quality players,
Yeah.
championship experience who can play that way and do it. But no, we've gone and played. I've got to shut up. That means shut up. Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
Paul Devlin's just come on, he says he's available.
Right.
Super.
We'll get him
He
up
was
top
sharp
then.
yesterday, by the way.
Get him
Yeah,
up
I
top.
heard, yeah.
Pace up
Yes,
top,
yeah.
yeah.
And he's still quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was rambling, but
No,
yeah,
no, no.
you know what I'm going from. I think it's easy, but I don't wish to appear rude now to Dong and his crew. We're trying to do what you want, play on the cheap.
Yeah.
I think circumstances.
I don't blame Dong.
Yeah,
I don't blame him
yeah.
because he can't run foul of the FFP
No, yeah,
again or
yeah.
and the EFL. So I get that, but then I think you have to cut your cloth accordingly. If we try to play, this is not academy football. This is not fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
This is championship football, the toughest league on the planet
Yep.
to get out of.
Absolutely right.
Boom. We could almost shut it at that, couldn't we? And be done with it.
Thank you. Well, you've been very nice.
Nice to see you all again.
No, listen, I am what I am, and it's my opinion.
Yeah,
By the
yeah.
way, I've never said I'm right about this. I've just said that this
Oh,
is
I
my
totally agree.
opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm right. That's just my opinion.
Okay, so congratulations to Michael Johnson, ex-Birmingham City player, now involved with
spoke
the
to
England
Jono
setup.
today,
Great,
yeah.
great news for Jono there, and well done to him, and good luck in your new career. Let's talk about Jude's record break, and that record from Trevor has stood since like almost time immemorial, really.
Yeah.
And I saw your Facebook post that you put on,
Yeah.
and some people were saying, well, why didn't Trevor talk to him himself? And there's something the other night. How nice of Trevor to speak to you.
The
to
fact
say,
that the fact that Trevor wanted to pass his congratulations on is fantastic. I spoke to listen. I've had private conversations with Jude about it. You know, there are other things that may or may not happen, right? That neither player wants public, right? So end of story. Trevor asked me to pass. I did it, and I thought that was to be fair, 99.999% of the people are absolutely chuffed
Yes,
with it.
yeah.
But there's one or two going, oh, why didn't he speak? Haven't they got phones in Spain? Oh, I wanted to go pee off. Give it a break, for goodness sake. The kid, Trevor, took it out of his way. And Jude, by the way, messaged me absolutely delighted
Oh, I bet he
that
was.
such a legend had taken the time.
Do you know what? Do you know what I'm delighted at, Tom?
Yeah.
Is that I was there
I know, me too.
to see
Me too.
that moment in history. The goosebumps are rising,
Yeah.
right? I was there to see that moment with my two boys in history, and I said to them, "Boom!" I said, "You've just witnessed something very, very special there."
It's an own goal, really, though, isn't it?
Well, I will say,
knew you was
it
gonna
isn't. It isn't
That's a
fair.
joke, by the way.
It isn't
That's
fair
years
to
ago.
put a lot of pressure on this kid because
No,
I
yeah,
think he's
yeah.
got to come out the team even now and then be, maybe get bit. He's got to be used properly. If you
Yeah.
remember, those of us old enough will remember Trevor was pulled out the team. He was scoring goals and still pulled out the team.
Yeah.
Because you've got to look after youngsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's such a switched on. I spoke to him after the game, Jude. Switched on, polite. I spoke to his mum. He's been brought up properly.
Good.
He's
So,
got
yeah.
He spoke very well. I saw his interview after.
he could go a lot. He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, very.
He could go a long, long way in the game.
Yeah.
But let's not expect he's going to get us promotion.
No,
It's a marathon, not a
There's
sprint.
plenty of kids. There's plenty of kids who look like they've got all the talent in the world and
We've
this,
had
that, and the other.
We've
And
had
they,
them.
and they burst onto the scene. And I'm not pointing out anybody, naming names or
No.
anything, but the one thing that has impressed me most, like you say, a 16-year-old kid.
Mature.
He just speaks like he's a 28-year-old.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's
Absolutely.
16-year-olds in football now who have media training. It doesn't feel that way.
I don't think they do.
It feels honestly genuine.
Right.
You know, with him, he really
Brought up
does.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does feel like
Brought
he's
up
got his
properly.
head screwed on properly. He's got a great family background. He's a Blues fan.
You could see though the
and-
joy in his
yeah.
face.
What a moment
after he
for him
scored and he
to
was banging
say
his
that.
chest.
He's
and
done
stuff.
what any of us in here tonight would love to have
Oh,
done.
Yeah.
listen,
yeah.
listen, the kids come on, right? 16 years old. And I said to my lads, I said, right, there's a name for you, one for the future. He's made his name. He made his name on Saturday, didn't he? Right, writing himself into the St Andrews record books on your debut, scoring in front of Tilton.
I do worry about all this comparison to Trevor.
No, there is. No, I'm not making that.
No, not you. I'm
Yeah.
saying I worry about it because he broke Trevor's record. He was the youngest player. Now he's got Trevor's goal. Trevor came in at 16,
Very different game then, as well,
right,
Tom.
right in the top flight, played 21 games and scored 16 goals.
Really? Wow.
That was the first. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's give this kid chance to breathe
To develop and to,
because
to-
he
yeah.
will be a good player.
His overall performance on Saturday was excellent, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I thought,
listen,
I thought he was very good.
He didn't look. He didn't look like a 16-year-old.
No, he didn't.
No,
He didn't.
No.
Now, what I'm saying, Tom, is his memories for the rest of his life
Oh,
will be
made.
that Saturday.
It don't matter what else happens now, does it?
That's that.
He's got that picture of him scoring at St Andrews.
Amazing.
Goodness sake.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing for the kid and his parents. His dad's a Blue Nose as well. His dad was a good amateur footballer as well. His dad, yeah. I think he might still play. His dad in the over 35. So, yeah, good
Good
family.
I've
Good
retired
lad.
now, Tom. I must admit.
I heard he scored 700 goals or something. Is that right?
What, his dad?
His dad in non-league.
I've had them dreams. No, I'd have to check that, but he certainly is. I will say, his dad was an excellent non-league player. My lads played against him in the over 35. So was Paul Devlin. He's a really, really top non-league player. You may just be right,
Yeah,
but I have to say, because I suppose over a length of time that may be the case.
Yeah, that's a fair whack.
I played 2,000 non-league games and I scored 5.
Who was
I was a
decent
machine.
performance.
You've got to admit, a machine.
What position were you?
Left
Tom?
back.
Left back. 5's not bad for left back, is it?
What, one every 400 games?
I'd like a bit more return if I was being picky. But
Who did you play for?
When I was 14, I went with Dudley Koenig to Hinckley, and I was in the youth setup, and Bobby Gould was in the youth setup there as well then. But if I'm honest, I wasn't good enough, but I thought I was. And he had no way. Dudley Koenig was a great manager. He managed Nuneaton, but he also wrote remember the TV series United about football dressing rooms and stuff. He
Yes.
wrote that anyway,
Yeah.
and he didn't know how to tell me because I was such a good trainer. He didn't know how to tell me he didn't want me, so he arranged to meet me at the clock garage for a game and didn't pick me up. Let me stand at the clock garage ward end on the A47. So then I went and bowled me at St Michael's, and that was more like it for me. That was more like it for me. And Sundays I played all the time on Sundays with,
I was
in a
very
good standard.
unfortunate as as a child and as growing up is that I'd got 2 left feet and no coordination whatsoever, so it just wasn't for me.
I've known players make a living out of that.
But no, me kneecap used to constantly dislocate.
Oh, well, then you got no chance.
Yeah,
You got
had
no
it, all me cruciate
To
ligaments.
quote Graham Sinnes, I found it easier to give pain than receive it.
Yeah.
But now you can't do it now. You couldn't play it now. Red cards are out all the time.
Right, okay, moving along a little bit then. We had a wonderful thing on Saturday called a half-time proposal, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw that.
Half-time proposal. And for the Birmingham...
You don't know what you're doing.
I heard them singing. Was that what it was for that?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And she said yes, and everyone went boo.
Why would you want to put yourself through that?
That's,
I couldn't think of nothing worse.
Not at that game.
Not any game.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of history between us and Stoke over the years. You know, so it was a knife-edge game.
I don't think it's going to kick off because somebody's
No, I'm not saying
No,
that.
no.
What I'm saying that I knew, and I said last week that the Stoke fans were going to come and they were going to be noisy,
Yeah.
right? And they did exactly that, right? They were quite noisy where we were.
Well,
To be fair, though,
might have been where you
let's
were.
be
We're in
honest.
the Tilton.
It was a day out from Stoke. You would be happy, wouldn't you?
Everybody's you got to be rejoicing leaving that place.
Brutal from Mr. Ross.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you that stadium, I hate that stadium. I preferred Victoria Ground.
Yeah.
The stadium's cold.
Oh, it's
it's
awful.
impersonal.
That's freezing,
They've got
isn't
that tunnel-like
Right on top of
walkway.
the hill.
The walkway where you come along. It's like Muggers Alley.
Yeah.
Next to the council burner.
They used to watch the game from the top of that hill on the side there,
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, little story then. After the game, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I came out of the cop, and my 2 sons wanted to go up to the club shop, and I said, after that, my back's absolutely destroyed. I'm going to go and stand by the gate where the Stoke fans congregate in the buses. I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. So I stood there having a cigarette. I was talking to one of the Stoke players, and I said, "No, come on, be honest."
One of the Stoke players.
One of the Stoke players actually came round there.
Okay.
And I said, "Where?"
Naming names?
No, I won't name names.
Okay.
No. I said, "Where do you go from here?" He says, "Well, I'll tell you where I'm going. I'm going to the airport and getting on a plane."
That's not working out because it's an international thing going away for the international.
However, my lads were
We can get to this.
Yeah.
my lads were a little bit longer in the club shop than I thought they were going to be. So,
So you drove the guy to the airport.
So, but it wasn't his fault.
No, by the time the police had given the okay for the Outriders to take the coaches down the Coventry Road, I was stood there because I'll give them a little tinkle and a little wave, you know, and giving it large. And then this coach comes past with my partner's son's face looking out of it, looking directly at me in the face, and I'm just going, have that.
Stoke fan, is he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're a big Stoke family, yeah. And I've converted Sharon now. She's all right. She's allowed to live with me. And and then I rang him up Sunday morning, checking on his welfare, just to make sure he was okay. You know what I mean? So, you help yourself. Yeah, help yourself. So that was quite a funny story from that. And by the time I got back into town, walked into the pub where I was working on Saturday night. There it was on the board, Nick. Boom, all chalked up. The Stoke fans had paid up already, mate. But they're all right. They're a good group. They're a good group. And we all shake hands and just get on with it afterwards. So that's that. Tom's just popped out to his car. Now, whilst Tom's gone to his car, I'm going to talk about the half-time service at the back of the cop. Yeah, okay.
Did you use FastPay?
Somebody told me FastPay wasn't working at all. The only
Who told you that?
Wait a minute. The only people that were on the FastPay had got their drinks on the side, and there was a child sat on the counter. Right. So I waited in queue. All right. Okay. Ordered a meat pasty. Okay.
What's a meat pasty?
A pasty. You know
A
what
Cornish
pasty is?
pasty?
Cornish pasty.
Right,
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I ordered a Cornish.
Did you say
pasty.
Cornish pasty or did you say meat pasty?
It's. I think it says meat pasty on the thing. I'm not too sure, but whatever it was, I ordered it
Okay.
anyway. So, and I got a meat pie
Yeah. Okay.
and a cheese and onion pie.
Right.
No
So you asked
pasty.
for a pasty and got a pie?
2 pies, no pasty.
So you said, I'm ever so sorry, but you've made an error here.
Well, my son picked one pie up.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to him, yeah, he said, well, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Where'd you get that?" I said, "Well, where's the pasty?"
So you owe the club £3.20. is what you're
I do.
saying.
I feel really bad, real guilty about it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to wait in the queue again to just pay that £3.20. So perhaps I'll do it next time.
Are the pies okay?
No,
I keep hearing
Tom,
they're not.
please,
Tragic.
Tom.
Don't start.
What a horrible subject.
All over again.
My goodness, we had a Piegate video done at St Andrews a couple of weeks ago. We did, honestly. Chris
Tried
fast paid the 3 pies, and we all gave a
Successfully, quickly.
Yes,
Yeah.
no complaints of that.
You should have used fast
But the
pack.
quality of them pies is just wrong.
Well, I remember
Pastry, my God.
when I used to do the tannoy announcing, I remember it was in the probably the late 70s, or early 80s, there was a note went round, because the fans were moaning about the pies and the Bovril. And they put it in the programme, admonishing the fans, saying, you can have hot pies or hot Bovril, not both hot.
That was St Andrews back in the day, wasn't it? I remember the first time I took my ex-wife there, she went up to get a pie at half time, and I was like ripping off bits of cardboard and just sticking the pie on it. That was like real proper. That was proper service. That kid.
I remember when I was a kid, I was probably about 14, and I was in the main stand with my dad in the paddock, and I'd gone to get me and him a Bovril, and I'm walking back with them like this, and I just couldn't hold them, they were too hot.
Too hot.
So no one got up and helped me, everyone was just cheering when I had to drop them. Just
Yeah.
like,
It's fair.
"Hey!"
It's only fair.
Very fair.
It's only fair. Deserves a cheer when people drop things. doesn't it?
So you could drop a bottle yourself, don't you, Chris?
I love a Bovril. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Sunday. Down Blues
Just had a
Women's
message off
first
my
game.
daughter, sorry. I'm sure this is off a partner. You shouldn't be dissing Stoke. Don't forget I'm a Stoke fan. Ha, so is Zachary. Yeah, you may be. 2-1 to the Blues. That's all I'm telling you.
No, it's right. We shouldn't take the mick out of Stoke people. Nature's done a good enough job.
I can't continue. Oh dear me, brilliant song. Thank you for that one. Oh yeah, help yourself. I've really had time. My sister there, beef pasty. I had one, not too bad. Use fast pay as well. Nice to see you Saturday as well, Pat. Nice to see you. I met so many people. It was great. Dee, Tracy, my sister, my son come up from Paul in Dorset. People saying hello. It was just lovely. Really, really nice. Really
It should be
enjoyed
an
it.
event football.
Emily and James
Shouldn't it? Yeah.
afterwards. you know,
Yeah,
chat-
James
chatted.
did say it's in,
Yeah, nice. Yeah, proper. Really, it was a lovely day out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I know
Nobody
the
says
result
hello to
makes
me.
it. The result makes
Yes.
your day. But you know when people stop you and chat to you as well, boom, you can't be happier than that.
But if you're Pep Clotet, what you are is, there's problems, but you'd rather try and fix the problems on the back of a win than a defeat.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
I said coming out of the game for the players as well.
Yeah.
You know, the players know. The players aren't stupid. They know. It'll take time, and they'll need to click into gear, and they need to work on things. But like you say, work on them after 10 points after 6 games, not 2 points after 6 games.
I think when you look at, I'd like to know a little bit
Yeah,
more.
the
'cause we
players
don't know
know.
about the
The
owners.
players
do we? I
aren't.
don't know anybody who's ever met the owners. Who's
Need to
pulling
click
the
into-
strings? Because I have this feeling that Dong reacts to what he's told from China rather rather than himself. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's under a lot of pressure from China.
Yeah.
But we can't keep changing managers. We can't.
No, that has
we've
to
had
stop.
We've
That
had
does have to
6 in
stop.
2 years, 8 months. We can't.
Is that right? 2 years, 8 months?
6.
6.
Yeah.
Rowett was sacked.
Rowett,
less
you
than
can't
3
Rowett,
years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So we had Rowett, Zola,
Zola,
Redknapp, Cottrell, Monk, Pep in a 3-year gap.
Yeah.
There's no stability with that.
No.
And we've had a big turnaround in players.
Yeah.
Over
and over again. It's been more than once.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
more than one. But now we've lost some good. All right, you didn't like the centre half, but we've lost the centre half. We've lost the strikers.
Yeah.
We've lost important players.
Yeah.
We've lost our most creative player as well, and obviously gone to them.
Yeah.
haven't we? So, we've got to replace those 12 assists.
He
as
never
well.
did it for me, Arthur. If I'm honest, I
Just
never.
his
thought-
assists,
Never
wasn't
did it. Never
Who
did.
didn't?
Arthur, I never felt.
No.
I never felt.
No.
They love him at Villa Park.
Great.
Yeah.
I can't have him.
So.
But didn't do very well the weekend again, did he? And it's B6, Tom. That's as much as we're allowed to use in here.
Oh, is it-
Just
is
the
that-
postcode.
It is.
The word is not allowed.
Okay.
It's all-
but for me, we're talking about Blues tonight, and I just wonder.
Yeah.
I just hope that the Chinese have patience,
Not
because
known for
you
it, though, are they?
cannot change a philosophy by a switch. Right? Okay, lads, we're going to play passing football. There it is. Off you go. You can't do that.
That's what they tried to do with Zola.
You have to.
wasn't it?
You have to change the culture. You have to get the players in that can play that way, which I know he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So get them players in play that way. You have to change the whole philosophy and the whole culture of the club has to change. But and I will say this: Pep said, day one, we are going to do it, but there'll be pain before
Of course
game.
there is. Of course there is. And
paying before games.
And we've had it with Forest and Swansea. You know, we've had bad performances, and we will have other bad performances this season.
And we'll have good ones.
But actually, you know, we like you say, before we've even clicked into gear, before we've even started to look anything like a side that you know, have the confidence to go out and do what we want, what they're being asked to do. It's we're 10 points in already.
I think. Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, go on, you.
I'm going to say for me the best performance so far. We didn't actually win the game. And that was Bristol City.
Bristol City,
yeah.
You could see what was trying to be done. You know.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it Saturday in little pockets.
Yeah.
Little pockets.
But I think Stoke did a good job on stifling us as well, though. I must pay on credit for that.
That's the easier part.
what
It's
they do.
harder to play the passing game than it is for other teams to stop you.
Yeah.
For us, we had the one from Gregory in the first half. But that's a long ball over the top, and we've switched off. I think the one Gregory's been slipped through again and hit the post. Apart from that, when have they gone through us? No. All that ability that they've got in their side. And
if you remember at the start, what they do is they didn't allow Birmingham, because Birmingham, if you're going to play the way we talk, the passing way, you need the ball, you need control of the ball, and you need time.
Yeah.
And Stoke worked that out, and they went, as soon as it was in, they were at you, bang, 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 bang. No time to play. No, exactly.
5 in the middle. 5 in the middle.
A lot of teams, if we start to play, get it right and play, teams will go, press them, get right at them, right amongst them, do not let them play.
And that's when you hit them on the break.
Then, you've got that isn't the way we want to play now, counter-attacking football.
That's when you can do it.
We don't want to play that way. But sometimes you're forced to do it. And last season we were outplayed a million times, but got out of Joey Che and the long ball and defending.
Yeah.
I think this year, I'm concerned. Dukey, you can't use Duke to build up. You can't play through him. You know what I mean? You can't play into him, play off him, play that. He's not that sort of player.
No.
We need a player. If you want to play the way that you say, we've got to have a player that can do that. That can be part of the build up. That can play. I hate to use the phrase a false number 9, but somebody who can play deeper and get involved in the game and create opportunities.
Yeah, let's hope Crowley's the man in time as well.
I liked him.
He was excellent when he come on.
I sat with it. Funny enough, he arrived early at the game last week. Not this one, the one before. And I sat with him and Gary Gardner because they were early. And we had a cup of tea and I was chatting to him. And he's a really switched on kid as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that position, Saturday, is the position for him. If you stick him wide right, I don't think he'll be effective.
No,
I'm surprised at the level of criticism of David Davis.
Oh, his stats over the weekend were incredible, weren't they?
He was first in everything, but also he actually created. He was involved in the two goals.
He was.
Yeah.
So why do we need a scapegoat always?
It's Birmingham City.
So I think it's about being a scapegoat. I think it's we were really, really slow. Really, really slow in that first half.
Yeah, proper.
And you've got and this is the way we played on Saturday. A 4-4-2, a wasted Bialba, and you've got two men in midfield, Sunjic and Davis. Now the onus, especially when you're playing a side like Stoke with the way they set up, the onus is on them to get us going quickly, to get the ball moving quicker. Davis didn't do that. A couple of times. He was slow. The ball. I remember once we had a corner and it was headed out, and he went. He had acres of time to take it down, and he waited and waited and waited and waited, and Gregory pinched it ahead of him.
I can't believe how unfair you are to a player that played so well on Saturday. There isn't a player on this planet, Man City included, Aguero included, all the rest of them, there isn't a player that sometime in the game makes a bad decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about ability, we're talking about 22 players making decisions. Our 11 make decisions.
Like this.
The teams that make the best decisions win the game.
Yeah.
Right? The better your player makes the better decisions.
Absolutely.
Like Aguero and them make great decisions 99% of the time. The lower down the spectrum, you make more mistakes.
Yeah.
We've got to accept that players are going to be doing that.
They will.
I thought the way he played, he's recovering the ball, winning the ball back, was second to none. He was number one in it. He was number one in tackle. I just think you're being unfair. I get that some people don't like him, but at least be honest about it and see what you see. He was involved in both the goals. I don't get it.
What's he played over 150 games
And also,
for us?
by the way, he's playing alongside really weak players. When I'm saying, no, why aren't we then, or you?
Yeah.
I'm not having a picking on you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go on.
Why aren't you
Please do,
talking
go
about?
on.
Why aren't you talking about the number of times that Villalba and all them gave the ball away.
Villalba gave the
Because
ball away.
when they gave the ball away,
Yeah.
who was the man that got and won it back? Davis.
I didn't see that from Davis. I honestly, I didn't see it from Davis. I didn't see. I thought he was out muscled. I thought he was out battled in the midfield with their midfield three.
It was the low physicality we had. Everybody else was weak.
I thought
physically.
I thought Sunjic was more combative than him, and actually, you said about his stats being exceptional. I can't remember where I saw it, but somebody used the line, and I thought it was excellent. Stats are like puppets. You stick your hand up there far enough, and you can make them say whatever you want.
Unless they suit your agenda.
Yeah, well, but
we're all like that. We're all like that.
Yeah, of course.
You will all use us.
Of course.
Stats are rubbish.
Yeah,
they don't agree with me.
Unless I want to
But hang
use
on.
them for my
This is.
sake,
I want to prove an
for-
argument.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm with you though. Stats can lie.
Yeah,
I get
so
that.
his pass percentage was apparently the best pass percentage completion in a blue shirt. But how many of them were sideways and safe passes and slow? And he took two touches before he moved it on.
I'm amazed at you because to play the way you've been talking about,
Yeah.
you have to keep the ball. And he
But you have
passes
to- you have to get it
What
quicker.
he does,
You have to get it gone
what he
quicker.
does, he passes it to a blue shirt. The other paper, this is what annoys me about the modern game. You see some of these players, a little fancy, they go around two players and lose the ball.
Yeah.
I'd rather Davis pass it sideways, 10 yards and kick the ball to our team.
But he's only going to pass it sideways to somebody who's going to try that anyway. So I want that last 20 minutes. When Crowley come on and created the space for him, and actually we saw and by no stretch of the imagination here am I saying drop David Davis.
No,
get rid of David Davis. He's a rubbish player.
You're making a point.
I thought for the first hour, one of the main reason we were so tepid and the game was so flat was because we weren't moving it quick enough.
I think the difference,
and I think Davis was at fault for that.
I think because Villalba, Montero, we got injured.
Yeah.
Villalba, Sunjic never got hold of the ball. Crowley came on and got hold of the ball.
Yeah.
And started to look forward.
It was 0-0, wasn't it, when Crowley come on?
Yeah.
Was it?
No.
1-0.
1-0.
1-0
0-0
Stoke.
and we went 1-0 down after he come on.
But he come on for Bialba.
Yeah.
Paul's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
no, you
0-0.
might be right actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went one
And
down.
then when we went one down, the whole team then pushed up
Yeah.
further. We were playing too deep until we conceded. And then when we
But
conceded,
that's been the problem all season.
Interjection.
Your comments.
Right, okay, comment here from Craig Courtney. Does Tom think Craig Garner is having an impact on the youngsters' reaction with Jude at the end of the game and ensuring Jude got the applause from the Tilton was pure class?
Yeah, it's a good point that because I sat with Craig at Solihull Moors last Monday and we were chatting with both guests of the game and we were chatting away about it and he's loving working with the younger players and talking to them. I mean, Craig's been there and done it all, cup finals, everything.
Massive.
So when it comes to not the technical side, but the understanding the game side, he's great for that.
And get in the club.
Yeah,
well, obviously.
get in the
But
club.
again, what a smart move
But
by
I
him
mean,
though,
to actually
make sure that he went past that Tilton.
But to actually say to it, like Jude gets the club anyway, doesn't
Yeah,
he? But,
yeah.
But to actually get to the player and say, there's certain things you might have been doing in the academy you can't do now. This is what you've got to do. I don't know, maybe whatever it is, but he's having an impact because he wants them kids to develop like he did.
Yeah.
And like Gary did at Villa and at wherever it is.
3 strikes and you're out.
But I like speaking about his coaching and he's enjoying it. I still think he offers as a player, me, Craig.
oh yeah,
Because one thing he does better than his legs ain't quite as quick. He's never rapid anyway, was he? But his leg ain't quite. But what Craig does, he keeps the ball better than most.
Yeah.
He picks out people. He doesn't give it away much, and that's a key. If you want to play the possession-based game, you have to keep the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that many times Villalba,
Yeah.
Jude, even when he come on,
Yeah.
I mean, he got the goal, but Jude
Yeah.
lost it with a.
At times he was a little bit Bambi-esque.
But that's
yeah.
a little bit
But that's-
immature.
yes,
he'll
absolutely.
learn. He'll
Yeah.
learn. The kid will learn.
100%.
he's got a heck of a shot on him as well, any Craig Gardner.
Yeah, but all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, it's about the quality of your players. And we've bought players from the Spanish second division with potential. They might be influencers, but are they ready yet? That's the question.
Half a dozen come through, 4 might work.
Yeah,
2 might not. We don't know. We've just got to wait
But
and see.
you know, the Championship is the most unforgiving, unsympathetic
Oh, it's
league,
relentless.
timeless week. They don't give you time.
It's relentless being a supporter, Tom.
No, but you know what I'm saying. It don't give you time. You don't get time. It's unforgiving. Teams will look at you and not. Oh, bless them. They got 4 young Spaniards in. Well, no, they'll be right at you like Stoke did.
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to get better, Tom? Do you think it's going to get better?
Oh, it
We're
has
10
to.
points. We're
It
10
bloody
points.
has to.
10
It has
points.
to.
You know, we've got 10 points so far, which is not bad.
Do you know what I worry about goals? If I'm honest, I worry about goals.
Yeah.
That's what I worry.
Yeah.
I say that we scored 2 Saturday, so why should I be?
Yeah.
But I try to look at 46 games, 50 games probably, maybe injuries and suspensions.
48.
Yeah,
Realistically,
all right.
Realistically, 48.
You know, well, we've only got one competition
exactly,
left. So I look at how we're going to get over 46 league games. Are we going to have enough goals? What happens with suspensions? We're weak enough as it is. What happens with suspensions? Injuries to key players. What happens?
Yeah.
What happens if Harley Dean gets injured? What happens if Djukovic gets injured?
Yeah.
I worry.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it. Trevor John Smith, comment here from Trevor Smith. He was our winner of the competition last week
good
for the
lad,
tickets. Thanks for the tickets on Saturday. Even bumped into Paul Hipkiss before the game. Great staff down the Blues to sort out the
lucky
tickets.
Trevor.
Excellent job. Wonderful. Glad it all went well for you, and glad we got the win, Trevor. And
Well done, Trevor. Nice to see
watch
you.
this space, and of course thanks to Boyle Sports for sponsoring us and giving the tickets for us to give away to you wonderful people out there.
Jim Owen says Tom interviewed me at BRMB for a sports commentator job. Any chance of a second interview? I don't think you've got that say anymore, have you?
Didn't he get the letter? I interviewed a lot of people at that stage looking for commentators because, with all due respect to everybody here, everybody thinks it's easy.
Oh, mate, listen, I've done one ladies do against Arsenal, right? And you guys and the guys from the BBC were behind me, and I was just embarrassing poor. Really,
We did one at the
but
Moors at Doncaster.
These guys behind me, they've probably never seen these group of women before, and they were going, and I'm going, I'll have to look at my sheet for that one.
Listen, I'm one thing for sure, as my mum always said to me, you're going to get a proper job. So I'm never ever going to complain about it. I've never had to work hard physically hard like a lot of people have to do to earn a living. I've been very fortunate, but you hone this sort of trade, and you learn things, and I've had to hone it over 40 years.
I said to somebody the other day, I was speaking in the pub the other night to somebody about this, right? And I was saying,
Why do all your stories
because I work
locate in a pub?
Because I work in pubs. I like pubs. I like ale and beer, right? That's the problem. Why do they call me Mr. Floor? I live to my reputation. However, and this guy, and I said, next time you watch a football game, turn your volume down and try it yourself. Turn your volume down and you try commentating on that game yourself.
It's
have
really
have
hard.
the team sheets in front of you, by all means. Man,
The television is different again.
Yeah.
Different type of so different. Yeah. There are people who go on and do TV and try to put a radio commentary on TV. That don't work.
I think I'd much rather do a radio than a TV, actually.
Because all you're doing, you can't be biased.
Yeah.
All you're doing is what's happening.
Yeah.
TV, you can have an opinion. This is just what's happening.
Yeah.
My philosophy was simple. I told them what happened, and the pundit told them why.
My favourite moment of yours, Tom, was when we beat West Ham in the Cup semi-final. And you went, bubbles? What bubbles?
I know the bubbles. They're
bubbles
bursting all over the East End.
East End of London. That's exactly the words you used.
But I didn't call them
my
cheats.
favourite
I didn't call them cheats.
Was when Zigic got trod on, right? And I wish I had that commentary. 9 times you said to him, you said on the radio 9 times, he's trod on him. He's trod on him. Me and my son were just.
You must have been in the pub then.
No. I was actually at home. And my son was counting off. He goes, Dad, he's got 7, 8, he's got 9.
Well, he might have trod on him 7 times.
Trod on him. Yeah, Zigic.
But listen, it's a pleasure to bring the games alive, and it's been, and now sometimes I had the chance before I was here. Before the last time I was here, I went to Bristol. Just as a fan, just to watch the game. It was fantastic. Just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I just went and watched it, and I had the time, and we won. And anything to shut that little miserable bugger up.
Yeah.
Lee Johnson. So I was absolutely chuffed to death. A great night. Went down there. Nice stadium now as well.
I'm there tomorrow, amazingly.
Are you?
I am, yeah, with work, yeah.
So I'm absolutely loving it. So I just worry about this season to get back to the what's in hand.
Okay, next one. Tom, what's happened to Beattie? Is he still involved or is he getting pushed out from above? lack of sightings recently.
I've not been told, but my instinct, being around a long time, tells me we ain't going to see him too much longer. I wouldn't have thought, because he's just, it's been so apparent that he's been shoved aside. Now, what James Beattie does now, I suppose because he's paid, he's under contract. If they say go and watch a game, he goes and watches a game. But now he's been shoved aside from the coaching by the look of it.
So he's not working with the players.
Well,
on the
he's not been at
training
games.
ground? Is he on the training ground? You know?
I don't know. I've not
I've
seen
seen
that.
pictures of him at the training ground.
Good. Well, then maybe. But for me, I haven't seen. I just think it's so obvious that he's gone off the bench.
Yeah.
And when you ask about it, it's all very non-committal. So we'll wait and see.
Wait and see. Our winner of the 3-word Facebook review this week is Morris Murphy, and he come up with picked Potter's pockets. Picked Potter's pockets for the 3-word review.
It's alliteration, that
Isn't it? Isn't it?
See, he's posh him, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'd have to go
He
and
is
look at the
posh.
dictionary and look up alliteration.
He gets out of the bath to have a wee in the sink, Tom.
See, if Redknapp had have beaten Stoke, it would be Harry Potter, wouldn't it? We'd have had something on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Where's Harry when you need him?
Yeah, so we do a 3-word review after each game.
Probably.
Alphabet blues.
Right,
Alphabet
what we're
blues.
doing now, Tom, is there were last week 26 letters in there. There are now 25. We picked out one last week, and it's a surname of an ex-Birmingham City player or a current Birmingham City player.
Pressure.
All right.
Chairman of the Football
And
Players Association. I'm under
then
pressure
it's then
here.
down to this lovely lot over here
Yeah.
on the screens to name their best player with
For that letter. Yeah.
And then we're going to have a group
Surname
of
letter?
just a surname,
Right.
just a surname, and then we're going to have a group of 26
Don't pull
best
out
players.
text. Don't
at the
pull
end
out
of the
X.
year.
I was going to say, if it's D, Paul Devlin's watching, isn't it?
Yeah.
and then we've got to pick out a team of 11 from that at the end of
Yeah.
the season. So there you are.
There we go.
There you go, just the one. Thanks, Paul.
No problem.
Here we go.
What we
Wow.
got?
Oh, this is so exciting. E
E for Echo.
or M.
E. That'll be E.
M might be better.
Eve.
Yeah.
Edward.
Yeah, W.
Or 3.
E for Echo. Okay, so any
Tony
Birmingham,
Evans.
Birmingham City player, ex or current, who you think?
Oh, you don't want us
would
to put them
fit
out
in?
now? You don't want us to say them?
Yeah, you can say them. As they'll write them on here as well.
Nicky Eden. was
Nicky
good player.
Eden would be a good
Eden,
one. Nicky
yeah.
Eden, he played yesterday for the All-Stars.
Good player, wasn't he?
Tough win that was, by the way. I must be in line for Manager of the Year again. 2 defeats since '92.
Bloody hell.
It's not bad, is it?
That's good.
We'll have to get
That's
a
better
Tilton.
than your
We'll
record
get a
for goal
Tilton
scoring,
talk
isn't it?
What formation are you playing, Tom? What formation?
Well, it's
Straight at the
a
back.
good point. No, it's a good point you said that, because we played 4-3-3,
Ah, yeah.
but I had to change it to 4-4-2 because of injuries. I was left with almost going to 10 men. How about this for managerial? Took the goalkeeper out, Mike Taylor, played him right back, put an injured player in goal, and we won it 3-1.
Wow.
It's controversial.
Controversial. Oh, I'd have been slaughtered on social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
Absolutely.
This Ross
He
ain't
don't
got
know
a
what
clue.
he's doing. Know what he's doing.
Get him out.
But listen, we more importantly, we raised a lot of money for manicuring.
Good, Spade.
Good, that's
That's
excellent. Good.
Nice one. Nice.
Over 1.6 million pounds, and it must be nearly 1.7 million since we started in
Mate,
fantastic.
in '92.
Superb.
You know.
Kevin French has won it.
Why?
Enkelman
Enkelman.
as the best blues player. With an A.
Didn't we have under Barry Fry? We had an Edwards, didn't we?
Andy
Did we
Edwards.
Andy Edwards,
Centre half, he
defender,
wasn't too
big
bad.
centre half,
So
Andy
Barry
Edwards.
Fry, we had everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, listen to the song. Fly Barry Fry, you're a hell of a
Well,
guy.
I did a thing with Barry at the Borsley Labour
Yes,
Club
you
on
did.
Friday.
Yeah,
How did it
yeah.
go? All right.
Well, all I do, it's easy for me. I just like the blue touch paper, and off he goes. He's fizzing.
Well, I
He's off.
emailed him and asked him to come in here, but I've never had a reply.
But it's the stories, I know them all, but they're so funny.
Yeah.
They're so funny. And he had them in hysterics, absolute hysterics. A great night. And I'm back there on the 3rd of October with Trevor Francis.
Superb. I thought he wasn't doing any more,
That's
Trevor.
really good.
And then after that,
I thought he wasn't doing any more.
yeah,
I thought,
Trevor's
I thought
doing
his last one was his last
no,
one.
Trevor's doing it with me.
Okay.
I've spoken to
He's
Trevor.
got a book out now.
And no, it's nothing to do with his book. His book's out. He's doing well with his book.
It was a while ago when it.
Yeah.
But it's also going to do. I'm also after that. I'm hoping to get a trio of Liam Daish, Jose Dominguez, and one other from that era.
Right, okay.
Players that we don't see around too
Yeah,
often,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
That'd be good, yeah.
And on Monday, of course, Friday we've got the Strikers dinner at St Andrews.
Yeah, there's
Which
a
is
few
gonna
there,
be,
isn't there?
Yeah, I've got. We're flying Bob Latchford in from Germany, Bob Hatton's there, Paul Devlin, Jeff Horsfield, Andy Saville, Kevin Phillips, I believe, Steve Claridge, Emile Heskey,
Horsfield, Jeff.
Jeff's there, yeah. So it'll be good. Be a good night. That will be as well. So having a bit of fun with them as well. So it's great. Listen,
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
fantastic. He's
The Big
struggling
Blues
with
family.
Yeah, struggling. Yeah, and we are a family.
Absolutely.
That's why I get angry when on social media. See, on social media, it's always about opinions. But the way some people react is, if you don't agree with them, then they become personal about
Yes.
it. Not with me, but with everybody.
Yeah.
And I hate that, if I'm honest. I hate it. It's the bane of my life. You know, there's an old saying, agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's easy, isn't it? It's
You know? Well, as we've done tonight.
Yeah.
It's like being married, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you got a good marriage, you sit down and you discuss everything in detail, then you do it her way.
Yeah.
no comment.
Right.
Don't forget, guys, we go out tomorrow night on Switch FM. Our good friends from Switch FM at 8 o'clock, isn't it, Chris? 8 o'clock until 9:30. That's on 107.5 and DAB all across the wider Birmingham area. So look out for that, where you can get us in absolute clarity. Absolute clarity. Alan Millett, if my memory serves me right, wasn't BT a shareholder in Monk's Friends Company? Could that be a reason? We don't know. Let's not go.
I've no idea.
No.
What about Rui Estevez? Remember him?
Estevez, Rui Estevez. He was useless, him.
Wade Elliott.
Wade
Wade, a
Elliott was
good shout.
excellent.
What a good shout, Wade
He
Elliott.
was a good player.
Good shout, Wade Elliott.
Europa League scorer, I think.
Yeah, what a
I liked
good.
him.
Yeah, good shout. Struggling with the E's, isn't I?
Yeah.
Right.
Tony Elliott.
Tony Elliott, goalkeeper, who I'm doing something with on. Is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. The launch of the ladies thing, because he's involved with the ladies at the
women's
moment.
coach.
Giovanni Espinosa
okay,
from
coach,
Ray Water.
Espinosa.
Espinosa, yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
was an
remember him.
Ecuadorian
Didn't play
centre
very
back, wasn't
often,
he?
yeah.
Didn't play
Was he
very often.
really?
I'm proper struggling to come up with one, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm struggling, and I'm pretty good at it because I say we have loads on. I'm just trying to think. Ease.
I think Wade Elliott for me, or Nicky Eden was good. I like
Nicky
Nicky
Eden.
Eden.
Yeah, Nicky Eden or Wade Elliott, I reckon.
Nicky was great yesterday for me as well. He was outstanding.
Oh, let's.
On
see how
Thursday
that goes.
at St Andrews?
Yeah.
I'll be there because it's for season ticket holders, isn't it? So
Oh, is
for
it?
the women, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll be there for that one.
Any news from the ladies' camp while you're on that then?
No, as Tom was saying, so they've got
Pre-season launch, isn't it? It's a
yeah,
pre-season.
yeah. So for season ticket holders on Thursday, there's a Q&A thing. So I think Tony Elliott's going to be there. Keris Harrop and
Yeah.
Brianna Vasali, I think, are the three that are going to be there.
They've lost a few players, though, haven't they?
They've lost a lot of players over the summer.
Why is that?
I'm quite outspoken about this, and you might not be surprised to hear that my opinion doesn't necessarily agree with other Blues women supporters' opinions. But I think there's a couple, Ellen White, Aoife Mannion, who would have gone anyway because the time was right. Aoife needed to get into the England squad. She signed for Man City, hasn't played a game for them yet, and is in the England squad now. Ellen White, obviously on the back of an excellent World Cup, and she wanted to. I think it was right for her to move on to a club that can offer her better chances at winning trophies, etc. But the rest of the ones that have left, I think it's a bit of spite. I think it's they wanted a manager that they didn't get, and Marta came through the door and they didn't really like it, and I think they threw their toys out the pram, and decisions were made very early on that they were going to leave. So
Are they weaker than they were?
in squad depth, yes, and I think probably in personnel at the moment I'd have to say yes, based on the fact that I haven't seen a number of the new signings. A few of them have been out in America over the last couple of years, so we'll have to wait and see how they develop, how they fit into the side. But yeah, like I say, on Thursday we get the chance to speak to those guys and have a
Will you be
meet and greet. I'll be there. Yeah, we
Okay.
got our season tickets, so yeah. We'll
Yeah,
be
they've asked
there.
me to host it, so I'm
So
looking
it's on
forward
Thursday
to that.
evening?
Yes, Thursday.
Yeah,
evening.
6 p.m.
6
I think
o'clock,
at St
6
Andrews,
o'clock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But our first game is on Sunday at Solihull Moors against Everton at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Excellent.
First game of the season.
That, by the way, I'll just say now, they've really got a stadium to be proud of now as the girls.
Yeah.
The new
Lovely.
executive
I
boxes
only
and
watched
stuff.
it on the telly
Fantastic.
from the pub because I was working. Sorry,
were in the
Chris,
pub,
I was working,
Yeah.
And but what a credit to Karen Carney for doing the opening ceremony for us as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. And
Smashing.
I say Craig was there. We had a few there. There's Michael Appleton. There's a fair few people turned up to celebrate with the opening.
Yeah.
And we sat in one of the boxes, and they're fabulous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah. So it's
But-
it's like Tom said, it's a good venue now for them to play at.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't the last couple of seasons.
It's improved.
It's suited them really well, but
Yeah.
I think the better facilities
The pitch is
will
awesome.
help them out now, definitely. And like you say, the women's side have generally been a side that like to get the ball down and keep it and dictate the play. So I think the better pitch, better surface will help them out.
Because I was working in the pub
Yeah.
on that Monday.
Pub.
Oh, it was a Monday. It was Monday night, wasn't it? Monday night when they played.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bank holiday
I was
Monday.
working, and I was working in the pub Monday night. Stand behind the goal where you took your penalty,
Yeah.
right? And the stands there. They've built it this side, haven't they? That's how I could
It's
see
the main. It's the main.
Yeah, it's the
stand,
main.
tunnel
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
stand,
Where
yeah.
where they come out. So you know where we sat to do the commentary in that Doncaster game. It's
Well,
that stand.
they're
yeah.
they're above us.
Yes.
They're above it. They're above us. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boxes, but opposite they've added a stand anyway.
Yeah,
They
well,
made
they're-
improvements there.
That's what I
haven't
thought. It
all
was.
throughout,
Yeah.
it is.
throughout last season, there was little bits going on. So there was a
Yeah.
temporary stand
The
in
car
the
park
corner.
alone now
Yeah,
looks
the car
amazing.
park was,
Club shop
was
is fantastic.
tarmacked and everything. And
And
they?
have
You
we?
get part there on a match day.
They've got wonderful car parks, all
Yeah.
tarmac,
Yeah.
and all numbered spaces and everything.
not sure if you have to pay when you
I
go to
don't know,
Moors.
or
You don't.
I think you have to be on the list. I think
You don't have to pay when you go Blues Women.
No, you wouldn't.
It's
have
free
to.
parking for the Blues Women.
Right, okay.
guys, yeah.
And have we had confirmation whether Cafe for Two are going to be turning up yet? Do you know?
I believe they are.
Okay,
I'm
that's
relying on
nice.
it.
Yeah.
I've withdrawn my £10 note for my Bovril and pepper and a little spoon, and I'll
Which
be
melts
well
when you put
away.
it in the hot Bovril.
Yeah, and I'll be well away then.
I think everyone's out of players with the letter E, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's gone. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
all we ask you to do every week is share this on your personal Facebook stream to be in a chance for winning some goodies the following week. And here come our sharers from last week. There were about 100 and...
Wow.
Yeah, 100 and...
Trying
lots.
to pick a name out.
And this wins goodies.
This wins a bag of goodies, yeah.
Right. Right. Ross. No, it isn't. but it is Tom. It's Thomas, but it's Jeanette Thomas.
Jeanette Thomas. Jeanette Thomas, there you go. You are our winner this week of the Tilton Talk Show
That's
goodie
brilliant.
bag.
The goodie bag,
And get in
excellent.
touch with Chris Brown, and he will get those winged in the post to you.
I wonder what Pep's going to be
post-haste.
doing now, though, in the international break.
Working them,
Yeah.
I'd hope.
I wouldn't imagine there's many gone out.
No.
So,
Well, I don't think McGowan would go because he's been injured.
he's been injured. So I think
Who else we got?
Yeah.
Tell it, just
I
McGowan.
would have said so.
but the width as well. The width with
Unless
the
Sunjic has got an under 21.
Camp still involved with Northern Ireland? Or is he retired?
I wouldn't have thought so.
I
No.
wouldn't have thought so. So
Yeah.
you've got now. He's got the opportunity now to do some serious work with him, which I think will be very useful for him.
Yes, definitely.
But looking at the width with Montero injured, Magoma injured, width as well. We've talked about Lucas being a real prime target. You can't just lump it up to him.
No.
What you have to do is get behind defenders and deliver a cross, turn the defenders
Of
facing
quality.
their own game,
A
own
cross
ground,
of quality.
asking them different questions, and then he'll score you plenty of goals.
Doing it at the
But we've
far
got to
post,
have
yeah.
wingers that are prepared to go beyond the fullback.
But we're not playing the winger game, though, are we? This was what was muted about.
Well, we went 4 across the middle on Saturday, but
But it was a passing. It wasn't the. It
No, it
wasn't.
wasn't,
It was
yeah.
like let's pass it and
Yes.
rather than getting. Sometimes I've looked and I get angry when I'm sitting because I sit on the halfway line and I look and you'll get a winger. He'll come up to the fullback. There's 25, 30, 40 yards of green behind him.
He'll
Will he
cut
run him?
inside,
No.
yeah.
He'll turn round. That drives me nuts.
Yeah, me
you
too.
want a winger who wants to run the fullback. If I'm a fullback, the last thing I want is somebody running at me. Get him running. I think Magoma is probably the best at that, but he does cut inside too much for me. But nevertheless, you need wingers who want it, because if they get there and deliver, I promise you, Lucas will get goals.
He'll be on the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I can't sure believe that mammoth jump. It was beautiful.
Oh, it was a great header. I said on here last week, I'm a 4-4-2 man myself. I
Yeah.
like to see wingers get down the flanks and whip the ball in.
I think if you watch a game, though, you'll see you start 4-4-2, but during that game, you'll probably have 3 or 4 systems, depending on who's
Yeah.
got the ball.
Yeah.
what the score is.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the fans that
need
were,
to be flexible, yeah.
fans that were moaning at Swansea when he took a striker off drive me mad.
Yeah, man.
No idea about
We
the
were
game.
screaming out for that.
Let me tell you, you're 63 minutes. You've been on the back foot for 63 minutes. Then you're even more on the back foot because Swansea switched up in the second half. We're under pressure. The manager, like any manager on this planet, says Jimenez hasn't had a kick. Off you come.
We need more.
Shore up the
we need more
midfield.
midfield, yeah.
But they were saying and then we lost.
Yeah.
No, 3 individual errors.
Yeah.
Was it 0-0 when he done that?
Yeah.
3 individual 63
It
minutes.
was the right
Yeah.
move. It was
0-0.
absolutely the right move.
Davis
Davis
just
didn't
comes
close it
with.
down, yeah.
He did close it down, but he didn't block the shot.
Yeah.
Right. He struck it well. The keeper didn't block the shot.
Yeah.
Second one, Villalba gets ragdolled.
Yeah.
Third one, penalty.
Yeah.
3 mistakes. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game over.
There isn't a manager on the planet who can legislate for 3 mistakes.
No.
100% agree.
Yeah. Totally right.
We've agreed.
We've agreed.
Oh,
Time to quit.
no, but I said that like, absolutely spot on. Couldn't completely agree with that. Yeah,
But you know,
we needed to short that midfield.
Yeah.
He did it,
and he just
and we made
made mistakes.
Unfortunately.
But if he gets a chance to work with these players this week for the next 10 days or so, it'd be brilliant. You know, he can really make a difference.
That's
in
absolutely-
international play.
that's absolutely-
As long as there's none of them gone out, there's nobody be going out.
I don't think they'll. I don't know whether they'll give him a couple of days break somewhere before they come back. But
I understand that, but it's early in the season for Christ's
Yeah.
sake. They don't need a break.
Pedersen involved with Denmark?
no,
No?
wouldn't have said so.
I don't think it'll be long before he is if he isn't.
Okay, just going back to catering for a minute.
Do you know, it's been racking my mind since I walked through the door, these sachets.
I took these sachets from the ground.
So that's more money you owe them.
So you pinched them.
Yeah. And I want you to appraise them. I want you to appraise them by next Monday.
What do you mean, appraise them?
I'm a man of Coleman's mustard and HP sauce.
I don't eat mustard.
I don't know brown sauce.
Oh, for
And brown
God's
sauce
sake,
is fattening.
I love brown sauce.
There you
So-
go.
Yeah, Tom.
There you go, Tom. Gift for you.
So we don't give you anything.
You could have had wasabi
Excuse me.
peas, just be grateful.
Whose brown sauce is it?
St Andrews.
I only have HP.
Yeah, me too. See, this is the problem, isn't it?
You can't. Tom, I've got a question for you, Tom. You can't do this in like 15 minutes if you've never done it before. But what's your all-time Blues 11 since you've ever been going?
That's hard for me. I'd rather pick them by era. But if you said favourite,
Yeah.
my favourites,
Yeah.
then for me, Gil Merrick would be in goal.
Yeah.
Although I thought Foster was brilliant.
Yeah. He was.
And all
We've had
sorts.
some Boston goalkeepers.
Yeah.
haven't we,
Well,
over
Mike
the years?
Taylor was good.
So Mike Taylor was good. I love Mike. He's a great lad. But I'd go Foster. Right back again. I thought Stephen Carr was great for us.
Fantastic.
I like Ray Martin. Going back, Ray Martin was great, but Stephen Carr, I like.
Yeah.
Left back. Wow, we've had a plethora of. How about that for a word, by the way?
Plethora?
Plethora of left
Like
backs.
that.
We had Pat Vandenor, Mark Dennis,
John Frame.
Hicks,
Diggs, yeah.
Diggs, who I saw last week at West Brom, by the way, and we've got
Granger.
Granger, Gary Pendry, played 500 games nearly.
Proper player.
So that is a difficult one for me.
Yeah.
My heart says Gary Pendry because, you know, I'm godfather to his kids and his father to mine.
You
so
can't not put him
it's it's straight over the head. Look, that never mind. Thank you in the background. Thank you very much. No, but we're good pals.
I didn't
so
have because you used
I'm
that
probably
game
in
last time he was here.
if I was put under real pressure, I'd say Mark Dennis. Mark Dennis, I thought was fantastic. The centre halves again. This is a tough one. Trevor Smith was awesome for me. Played for England, great centre half. Roger Hine, I just love to watch Big Rog play. I love to watch Big Rog. Stan Harland alongside him.
Joe Gallagher, a lot about
Joe Gallagher was amazing.
Yeah.
I'd go Gallagher and Hind, if
Yeah.
I'm honest. Midfield, this is a real tough one for me. Alan Campbell never got the credit in that Blues team. All the Francis Latchford hadn't got the goals. Alan Campbell made them tick, passing the ball. He was great. Jimmy Bloomfield was a hell of a midfielder. Howard Kendall was a hell of a midfielder. Gary, was he a striker? I don't think he was. I think he's more of
an attacking
created midfielder.
Just put a shirt on him
Yeah.
and turn to go out.
Yeah.
So, definitely, for me, the front three picks itself. I don't care what anybody
Francis,
says.
Latchford
Francis
and Hatton.
Latchford and Hatton. Yeah, I'm sorry. With it's not even an issue for me. Now it's just that midfield area.
Left mid.
So we've got four,
You're not
three.
picking-
So we've
you're
got
not
three.
picking a left mid.
No,
Three in
so you go
midfield.
3-3.
We've got
4-3-3.
three. So I'd have Alan Campbell in there. Oh, this is so difficult for me. Howard Kendall was a class act. I'd have Howard Kendall in there. And I've probably forgotten people. This is what annoys me. I've probably forgotten people. And I've got to pick one other midfield. I'll put Dugarry in there.
What a player.
And there you go. There you
That's a
go.
good team.
All right, Titch Povey has written,
We
Tom.
wouldn't have been one down.
Titch Povey has written, Tom picked Dennis Stewart up today, and he mentioned the Pendry row. He laughed his head off, Titch Minori.
Yeah, it was a great one, that, because I used to go in the Players' Lounge after, which was above where the community office is now. They had a Players' Lounge. Mrs. Devi, Ray Devi's wife, used to run it, and it was great. And they'd had a row on the pitch. Gary Pendry Stewart had done something nasty, and Gary had threatened him on the pitch, and Stewart, I'll have you in the tunnel, all that sort of stuff. And obviously nothing happened, as it doesn't. But we were in the Players' Lounge, and Stewart walked in to get a drink, and Gary went, "Still want to go, do you?" And Stewart went, "Don't be silly," and that was it. But Gary was ready for him, because he took a liberty with him on the pitch. But Dennis Stewart was a good player.
Yeah.
Dennis Stewart was good. And remember, we talk about wingers. The fullbacks in them days had wingers to mark. You don't often have wingers these days, you know that. But Gary'd have to mark George Best. He'd have to mark Stewart. He'd have to mark these sort of players.
Yeah.
Which was, a difficult time for them in the 70s. But yeah, so that would be my team. And again, I'll get home tonight and I go, I wish I'd have put in so. I wish I'd have put in so.
Another shout for Stan
My mate,
Lazaridis.
Stan Lazaridis
Yeah.
was a great player for us.
Yeah, he
I
was.
mean, he was wonderful. So there's one I've already
Couldn't
thought
put
about.
him in that team though.
There
Couldn't
are-
put him.
And then I'm thinking, who else is there? We've had goal scorers, proper goal scorers. that I should
Forsell,
put in.
Phillips.
Nico
more recently.
Forsell.
Yeah.
Kevin Phillips. Was a
Barry
proper-
Ferguson in the middle as well was brilliant.
Barry Ferguson. So I'll probably my original statement. I'd rather pick them by era,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that would be a more easier way to do it. But I've picked you what I consider my favourites.
Yeah.
And by the time I get home, I'll have changed it.
Here we go then, Tom. Tom, you know the game's gone, but what are the thoughts of a salary cap to make the championship more even and assist with FFP through the league from Kev Kelly?
Against the European rules, you can't do it. You just can't. It's against the law to just have a salary cap. But what you can do is you can say to a club, "We're capping your salary level." So you say, "Okay, you can have 20 million pounds. How you spend it up to you. 2 players at 10 million, up to you, and the rest. But it's up to you. But you cannot go above that salary cap."
Okay.
So that's one way of doing it. But you can't cap an individual's wages.
No idea. Any idea what all that lot is?
These are all the E's.
We've got loads of these.
yeah.
Somebody's been doing the homework.
Neil Eardley, I've just thought of.
Neil Eardley.
Remember Eardley, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody's been on
What,
Google.
we're going Neil Eardley up. I mean,
It's an E. It's an E.
yeah.
It's a challenge just to
I'm
think.
not,
"Oh,
I'm
no,
not
that's
putting
the-"
him in my all-time
No.
Blues 11.
I think Wade Elliott wins it for me, actually. Or Nicky Eden between them.
Yeah, Eden. We'll let Tom decide. Eden or Elliot.
He seems to be a big most of
Who turns up for my Sunday team?
I was going to say.
Who else they picked? Who else they got? There's loads.
There's a few here.
Plus, I'm sure we'll have a.
Well, they all go back to 1903, so I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Richard Evans.
Richard Evans, a Wales midfielder.
Giovanni Espinosa.
Espinosa, we all
77, yeah.
Gary Emanuel, of course.
Gary Emanuel was a
Gary
decent
Emanuel
player.
was,
Gary
yeah,
Emanuel
he
was a
was,
decent player for
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Gary
yeah, yeah.
Emanuel.
Tom, another question for you from Stuart Jones. Who's your favourite ever Blues manager? So who would be the manager of that team?
I'd have to say, I mean, Freddie Goodwin was my favourite manager, but Big Eck won a trophy.
Yeah.
He won the Carling Cup.
Yeah. And he finished
Steve
off,
Bruce
didn't
got
he?
us promoted
Yeah.
to the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, for me, it'd probably be amongst them three in terms of success. I got on with them all, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I've not only one I didn't.
Okay, normally we do the last 15
Steve
minutes.
Cottrell.
We're only going to do
Well,
Steve Cottrell, yeah.
we're only going to do 10
Steve
minutes
Cottrell
tonight.
doesn't
so-
get on with Steve Cottrell.
No. And as we've signed Benjamin's son today, somebody suggested to me.
We've signed who?
Bernard's son.
Bernard, beg your pardon, Bernard's son. You know me and names. I don't do
Benjamin's
names,
son.
do I? Right? It's anything to do with footballers' surnames and a Chinese restaurant. Go.
Fantastic. Wow.
Have some mustard. Have some mustard. International break.
I will say, how long before the fans, if he develops, how long before the fans are singing "Hey Jude"?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, God,
we
yeah.
should get that going. Yeah.
Well, Ray Obro put that up as his profile picture the other night, didn't he? Or
Did he?
something? Yeah.
Yeah.
The record
that
of
will
it,
come.
the Apple.
If he plays and plays well, but I'm always conscious, like a manager now, and I'm putting too much pressure on the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
To do with the Chinese restaurant.
Anything to do with
Oh
the
well,
Chinese restaurant?
never mind. We tried.
Just
Parky Song.
Part G Yuk Sung.
Yuk Song. Yuk Song.
oh,
They're a clever lot out here, you know.
Yeah.
what's that?
Paolo One Chopstick.
Oh, any player from any club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any,
Oh, I thought you meant Blues.
No.
any footballer whose surname
Paolo
is
One
anything to do with
Chopstick.
a Chinese restaurant.
Paolo One Chopstick.
Barry Fry.
Very fry, of course.
Barry Fry,
Pat Rice.
Pat Rice,
Pat Rice. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
He hates
This
it.
is
Tony
just,
Curry.
this is just
Look at his face. Look at his face. So worst,
I'll be honest,
Favourite bit of the show.
worst
I
moments
didn't
of his
expect
life.
this, to be fair.
World sports love this, don't they?
This is a bit flippant for you.
I'm a very serious character.
I'd never have guessed.
No.
Diego Maradona.
Was he banning enjoyment and fun?
Oh, yeah, he hates fun. He hates smiling. That's why we call it.
I just don't see the benefit in it.
What, smiling?
Yeah.
Well,
in
laughter is the
enjoyment.
best
What's the
medicine.
benefit in enjoyment?
Point to Scotland.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, facts
Well
are,
said.
it's a medical fact. If you enjoy your life and smile more, you live longer.
Well, I'm not planning on sticking around long anyway, so.
My mum's fell apart here.
You,
We've got technical issues here.
What?
I'm alright now.
I'll just hang on to it for the next 5
It's all
minutes.
right,
while
it's
you-
all right.
so do we think Pep will get the backing?
Of who?
Yeah, you're supposed to be asking me questions.
Board or fans?
Yeah, no, I think the board.
The board?
Yeah.
I think he's got a.
I don't necessarily mean Dong now.
No, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean the owners.
Yeah, generally.
The owners.
If we're still hanging around top 10, then I think they'll give him time to improve the state of play, because we've said on the show before, their end goal is promotion. You know, they're an investment company. If we get promoted and they get the chance to sell a Premier League club, then they're absolutely laughing, aren't they?
But they've got to be patient.
Yeah,
They've got to be patient.
At no point in their ownership have
but
they
they've never shown any
sense of
patience.
patience whatsoever.
Well, they've never been afraid to pull the trigger. have they?
No, absolutely not.
And I think if whatever you think about the current situation, that will just put us back down another road.
Yeah.
Who the hell would want to take over this managerial job? Well, it's not a managerial job. We are the
Head
only
coach.
club in the world who've got a permanent head coach, a permanent caretaker.
yeah.
A permanent caretaker, interim
It still says
manager.
It still says caretaker on the
Coach.
program and things like that.
It's a nonsense.
If there's that'd be my one recommendation.
He's got the
Change it
job.
now. Give it him.
He's got the
just,
job.
Just
As it is,
say.
as we
Well, they,
sit here.
Say
no,
he's head coach.
They said
Take that caretaker
They said
off.
he's a permanent caretaker.
Yeah,
But we're not looking for anybody
Yeah.
else. That says he's got the job.
yeah.
Isn't it just?
But
I
I don't
don't
know why
get
the caretaker has to go in there.
But he's
Get rid of it.
I'm biased. I'll get on quite well with Pep.
Yeah.
Very well. I sit and talk to him, not about it. I talk to him about football, talk about what we're doing and how the team's going and how the development. And if you sit and chat to him, I've said to the club, get him to do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Because people will understand, A, what he's going through.
He's a proper football
B,
man. as
yeah,
well,
absolutely. B, what he's planning to do.
Yeah.
B, where he wants it to be. If you listen to him, we don't get that chance.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think they fear someone saying, you know, half
Yeah.
hour in, someone
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, so what happened with Monk then?" Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So-
yeah, yeah.
What's the other guy like, Tom? His assistant, Herrera.
I've met him. He's a nice fellow, but I don't
Yeah.
know too much about him.
No,
if I'm
okay.
honest, if I'm truthful.
Right, we've got Sam Wox, knobby sweet and sour chicken Hong Kong styles.
What?
Marlon King prawn curry.
That's Indian.
Well, you can have a king prawn Chinese curry.
Rubbish.
Of course you can.
Cod swallop. It's an,
Declan
It's an
fried
Indian
rice.
dish. It's an
Declan
Indian
fried
dish.
rice.
Move on.
Chris Pugh, do you think you can benefit from the return of Rabti and Magoma? Can they bring anything to the
Someone
current
asking
team?
me a question, a football question.
Yeah, You're in.
What is the question? I really should have focused on the actual
Chris Pugh, do you think we can benefit from the return of Marabti and Magoma? Can they bring anything to the current team?
Yeah, they can definitely bring stuff.
they
And
can.
Tom said it at the start. I think the one thing that Magoma will bring is the option to use a little bit of pace,
Over 5 yards.
a little bit of direct running.
Sorry, what was Magoma's
He's quick
injury?
over 5 yards.
Magoma's injury was it
thigh?
a calf
Was
injury
it
or a
calf?
thigh
Sorry,
injury?
but yeah, it's,
Yeah, so he
Leg.
was 4 to 6
but
weeks,
either way, what he is he's quick with the ball.
Yeah.
Running with the ball is quick.
Yeah.
And that gets him away from
That'll
defenders.
worry defenders. Yeah,
I don't think he's ever going to do a 50 or 100 yard sprint, but what he will do, he'll get past people if you give him the ball
Yeah,
in the right
yeah.
areas.
Did Magoma feature in pre-season, or has he not played since the African Cup of Nations?
No, I don't think he has feet. It was always Marabti up alongside Duke in pre-season.
Started at Brentford, didn't they? Went off injured.
Yeah, Magoma. That was his first start back. I
I've
think.
never been too enamoured with Marabti. I've not seen anything yet that.
Yeah.
Listen, he might be another one that develops late. I've not seen anything
Again.
that's made me go wow.
I think, and we haven't really touched on it a lot. People's best positions:
Yeah,
Marabti,
Absolutely.
Crowley, Bialba. I think you could probably all throw a blanket. Magoma possibly as well. You could throw a blanket over all of them and say your best position is probably the same position.
See-
So
Yeah.
where do we get the best out of those players?
What's Bellingham's best position?
but you know this is a
Probably
problem.
very similar.
This is a problem for managers. Sometimes you get a player and you look at him and you go, "Where do I play him?
Yeah,
Where do I play
Yeah.
him?" And eventually it may or may not work. Some players you need a freer role. They're not disciplined enough. Are we in
I
that
think
position?
if you, but and again, I think if you want to give somebody a free role, Bialba is someone who I'd probably like to say, just lurk around. You know, you said about the false number 9.
Yeah.
I think if you stuck
But then
Bialba
you've got-
alongside you,
We've already said Crowley's the place there.
and I'd like Crowley there, and you'd probably like Bellingham there,
Yeah.
and Magoma would be an option there. Do you know what I mean? This is my point. So
I tell you what, our defenders are in for some work.
I know that's the trouble. That's the trouble. Whether
You know
go
what you've
three
hit
at the
on.
back or
You know
four
you've
at
hit
the
on.
back.
Sometimes, and I don't wish to sound trite, but sometimes you don't want the best players. Sometimes you want the best team,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the best
very much so,
balance
yeah.
to a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
We don't look balanced.
Bialba went off and we did look
We
better
don't look. We
on
don't look
Saturday.
balanced at times.
No, definitely not.
We've got the best players. Sometimes don't make the best team. That's
No,
all. I
no,
want.
no. absolutely.
That's what Pep said, hasn't he? In his interviews, we need to find
Well,
that
look,
balance.
look at Pep.
that
Pep
right
Guardiola's
balance.
left out David Silva. He's left out Aguero.
Yeah,
He's,
well, yeah.
you know, what I'm saying is
He ain't got that to bring in.
No, but what I'm saying is he'll pick the best team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best team rather than the best players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ready to scroll. We've got Tony Wonton Soup, Paolo One Chop Suey, and Kevin French's Chinese Tony Curry.
I like this one. Eric Cantonese.
Oh, yes.
Tony One features
George,
in a
George Crispy Duck, Coventry player. Bradley Duck. Any more for any more?
Bradley Duck.
Probably.
Bradley Dack in it at Blackburn.
I thought we had to get the name right.
Yeah. I don't think it. Honestly, Tom, I
Don't
think they
matter.
just do whatever the hell they want, and
This is why you don't like it.
it's just completely irrelevant.
Right
An
then.
absolute waste of my time.
Well then, what
coming in
about-
every Monday night?
What about Ray Martin? I went to a Chinese.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
You're as bad as it.
That's the winner.
Swim for an hour and a half.
I'm just saying,
Sitting next-
if you are going to have a competition, it has to be a name.
Correct.
Like clever, like Paolo One Chop, whatever you said it was.
One Chop.
One
That's what it
Chop.
was now.
But that was
Paolo
good.
one chopstick.
That was really funny. That was
No,
good.
I hated it. I absolutely hated
Was
it.
that yours? That was really funny.
Well, once again, this has been the Tilton Talk Show every Monday through the football season from
Have we
7:30
finished?
till
It's not
9
fair that it's
o'clock.
finished.
It's not fair that it's
Wasted our time.
Extra time.
finished.
Extra time.
As always, thanks to Boyle Sports. Now, we've got a new look studio now with a new setup, new camera layout. This isn't the finished article, don't get me wrong, it'll improve week by week, but we've laid
Will the last 15 minutes improve week by week?
It may do if you join in.
There's no chance of that.
No, I know.
No way.
So thanks to our sponsors, Boyle Sports, and of course Cafe 2 Solihull, Munch's Cafe in Alton, SAS Autos Borsley Labour Club, and also thanks to Switch FM because we're direct tomorrow night at 107.5 and
Can I say
DAB
something?
across Birmingham.
I hate international breaks.
I hate
I
international
love
breaks.
international
Who's it?
Come on, England.
Are England playing either?
England are playing Bulgaria
In
and
a what?
Kosovo in Euro 2020 qualifiers.
Qualifiers. I might watch them if they qualify.
Euro 2020 qualifiers.
I might be in the pub. I might watch them.
Well, obviously you'll be in the pub.
I work in the
It's whether
pub.
you watch them or not.
I hate international. I miss my game on a Sunday. It's horrible, isn't it? Miss it. I might have to go to St Andrews Saturday and see Coventry. At least I'll be able to get out quick. It's right.
You'll have
though.
that main stand all to yourself.
Oh dear. So welcome, well done to Maurice Murphy, picked of Potter's Pockets, and also our winner of our competition tonight, Jeanette Thompson, was it? Yes, Jeanette Thomas. Congratulations to you. Some prizes will be winging their way to you very, very shortly. Tom, as always, thank you so very much for
The crowd have stayed well with Blues as well, by the way. The crowd have stayed with them, good numbers and stuff. Brilliant. Nothing wrong with Blues fans at all.
No, and keep it up. Let's not have all this negativity. No bed sheets at our
Charlton
place.
sold out.
Yep.
Derby tickets going on sale
I know.
tomorrow, is it? So I think that
Preston next at
that'll be
home.
a sellout.
Preston next at home. Is it right?
Yes.
Preston, that's the
First,
next game, yeah. I'm doing that one for 2
Are you?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, I love it. So don't get. They can't go down. They can't. The Talk Sport won't cover them. So I'll have to quit Talk Sport to go to the Blues.
That's like full time. Yeah. You want to see our wages?
We're still on air, Tom. We're still on air.
I don't care.
We've got FFP problems down here. We can't really pay that great wages down
FFP, fat people.
But it's been great fun. Yeah, anytime. I always enjoy.
Absolutely adore you on the show, mate.
Always
Anytime.
enjoy.
Cracking.
And I didn't talk too much today.
When we're going to count the words later, we've got very strong little clickers, so we'll see who got the most in.
You got a prize off Tim Andrews, Tom, earlier. Said he really enjoyed listening to you tonight. Tim Andrews, yeah.
Top man, son.
He's a good man as well.
You're all top people, every single one of you, every single Blues fan, proper.
Some
proper.
of you. Some more top
Boom,
peoples.
boom, boom. You're going to stick with it.
But they deserve better.
We all deserve better, Tom. Right? We've all been around a long time.
Younger than you.
30 now.
Why not?
30. Wow. You know, dear.
My life. Where have you gone?
Old as my
I tell you
pie on
what,
Saturday.
if you've been this happy for 30 years, you've got another 30 to go.
I know.
Gee whiz. Victor Meldrew is still alive and kicking, folks.
I'm not sure another 30 is necessary.
Thanks again, Tom.
Cheers, pal. No worries, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Take care, guys. International break.
Elliot, Eden.
Nicky Eden.
Nicky Eden.
There you go. Nicky Eden. Write him in. And we'll see you back here next Monday. Even though there's no game on this week, we'll discuss the international setup and the scene and one thing and another, and anything to do with Birmingham City Football Club. So dare say something.
Well done to Michael Johnson, under 21 coach, and Marcus Bignett,
Yeah,
under 18s coach
yes,
as well,
yes,
and
yeah.
Keith Downing, who is in the setup as well, 3 ex-Blues,
Excellent.
Wonderful.
and Lee Carsley,
Lee Clark's
4.
already there, isn't he?
Lee Carsley.
Yeah.
Just needed Tom Ross there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I wouldn't want a job with England.
What's a George Parker?
4 games a year, I'd have that.
George Parker's a stone place.
Is it?
About 5 minutes drive.
It's a wonderful place, though.
Listen, guys, see you next week. Take care. 5 past 9.
Take care.
already. Keep right on to the end of the road.
As
Till
always. 2. Do it right.
the end of the road. And la la la.
Good night.
We are the lads from Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We are the lads from Tilton.
SRB Media.